Hi everyone and welcome, this is the Apostate Prophet. Don't you find it interesting that so many Muslims have beards, and that Islamic scholars, apologists, and clerics seem to be abiding by an appearance policy? When you Google for it, you can see a lot of beards that don't necessarily look very attractive. Even this ginger guy has a beard that makes him look very sweet. I had an Islamic beard when I was a Muslim, and I definitely felt safe and equipped and favored because I had hair on my face. This guy even says that men without beards look like women, and that if you see a man with long hair and without a beard in the street, you might mistake him for a woman and be sexually aroused at a man by his fault. And who wants to have indecent thoughts about a man by accident? Allah forbid. Instead of drooling at every walking female in the street. When you research further, you see how Islamic scholars harshly discuss the rulings on beards and shaving them, which of course is a very important aspect of life. So what is it about Islam and beards? Why do Muslims have beards? Well, briefly explained, according to the fundamental sources of Islam, and according to Sunni Islam and Shia Islam, it is obligatory to have a beard. Although the degree to which it is obligatory and the shape of it slightly varies between Shia Islam and Sunni Islam, and also somewhat within the schools of Sunni Islam. If you're wondering why it is obligatory, I would say it is not too hard to guess. The reasons are primitive and tribalistic, of course. The obligation doesn't come from the Quran, just like many other obligations in Islam. It comes from the Hadith, which are reports quoting or describing Muhammad and his companions. It is consensually agreed that Muslims are required to follow the example of Muhammad, and as justification for that, Islamic sources mostly cite the Quran. In several verses, it says that obeying Muhammad means obeying Allah, that everyone should listen to Muhammad, that Muhammad is a brilliant example. Among Muslims, it is commonly known that he is the most perfect human being to ever walk the face of the earth. But more to that quite soon. The tradition, the example of Muhammad and his companions, is called the Sunnah. In the Sunnah, there are a lot of practices and orders from Muhammad whose purpose it is to distinguish Muslims from the bad non-Muslims. Among those things is the beard. Muhammad is reported to have said, "Do the opposite of what pagans do. Keep the beards and cut the mustaches short." Or, "Trim the mustache and grow the beard, and thus act against the fire worshippers." According to a report, Muhammad once received two people from Persia, Zoroastrians, who had long mustaches and no beards. When he saw that, he was disgusted by their appearance. Muhammad then announced that Muslims should have beards and trimmed mustaches to act against the fire-worshipping Zoroastrians. So in essence, the whole ruling about beards and mustaches has to do with tribalism. To look like a Muslim, or to be more accurate, to not look like non-Muslims. Similar reports also concern Jews and Christians, where Muhammad orders his followers to dye their gray hair, because Jews and Christians don't do that. Another report even shows that Muhammad used to copy the hairstyle of Jews and Christians and be different from pagans. Later on, when things didn't go well with Jews and Christians, he changed his hairstyle. Why is it that important that Muslims don't look like non-Muslims? Why was Muhammad so obsessed with that? Because it was about us and them. Muhammad also said by numerous reports, "Whoever imitates a people is one of them." This is a very, very common sentiment in Islamic culture. Be like a Muslim, look like a Muslim, act like a Muslim. Many aspects of Islam, including hair, beard, mustache, clothing, the call for prayer, were shaped by trying not to look like other non-Muslim groups. It is funny that in the effort to look different from everyone else, Muslims basically caged themselves in a single appearance that they can't get out of. Congratulations, Muhammad. Very smart. You played yourself. The Quran also says that whoever befriends Christians and Jews was one of them. As you can see, it is very important not to be, look, or act like the dirty infidel, and not to befriend them. Islamic sources will try to explain to you in so many ways that if you act and look like non-Muslims, you will love them and their false, wrong ways too much. And that if you love them too much, you will become like them. Allah forbid. Although this is the most important, the most well-known, most cited reason for the beard, Islamic sources usually cite one or two more reasons why to keep a beard. Reason number 2 is that a beard is part of the pure nature of a man, and it looks good. A hadith cites cutting the mustache, letting the beard grow, cutting nails, plucking armpit hair, shaving pubic hair, and other details as part of the fitra, the pure nature of a man. It's pretty weird that letting your beard grow is considered of nature, but letting your mustache or armpit hair grow is not. They want to tell me that this look is pure and natural. No wonder Muslim apologists resort to such poor propaganda. If you think beard is unattractive, then think about the Prophet Muhammad. He was the most beautiful creation, and he had a beard. Reason number 3 is, as the gentleman told us earlier, that a beard distinguishes a man from a woman. I get it when beard growers cheekily say stuff like that nowadays. But we're talking about a religion here that dictates that you're basically a woman if you don't have a beard. And you can't oppose such a stupid proposition and act outside of it. And you really don't want to have inappropriate thoughts looking at a man because you thought it was a woman, because he didn't have a beard. May Allah punish him or forgive him. According to most scholars and the 4 major schools in Sunni Islam, the beard can't be shaved and shouldn't be cut. Shaving it is haram. It cannot be shorter than what you hold in your fist, because that's apparently how Muhammad's companions had it. The scholars differ on trimming it a little bit if it is too long, or shaving what is below or on the sides. Some say that you can trim it a little bit if it is too long and ugly. Yeah. More radical sources like fundamentalists and revivalists often teach that you need to let it grow and trim your mustache very short. As a result, you will look fantastic. The mustache thing shouldn't even be a question, because Muhammad said, "Whoever does not remove any of his mustache is not one of us." He was serious. Don't join the gang with your mustache untrimmed. There are some Muslim opinions, nowadays and in the past, that think it is not a strict rule, that keeping a beard is only a recommendation, that it is obsolete today. But this is still a minority opinion, and it is disliked, while the consensus is clear. Look like this. Isn't it a little bit weird? A little bit. That Islam is claimed to be a religion, a faith, in Allah, the Creator, whom you must believe in and obey in order to reach paradise and escape hell. But you're also supposed to strictly follow something as ridiculous as having a specific beard. Because in the 7th century, a man who brought the message of Allah had his beard that way and told others to make it that way too. Isn't it bizarre that whether or not you are a true follower of Islam, part of the faith, and liked by Allah, depends on how you look? People dress and make their hair and beard and face in specific ways in order to be liked and respected in society. People have been doing this forever. It is natural. Islam confines all that natural desire to "this is what you will do and nothing else." Isn't it also interesting that wherever we look within Islamic rules and traditions, even when it is something as pathetic as facial hair, it is again about tribalism, about us and them, about the own and the other, we and the enemy, the superior and the inferior. It is ridiculous. It is very laughable. What a joke. But it also further proves the problem of Islam as a religion that thrives on separation and hostility. Next time someone tells you that Islam is universal, that it is not about difficulties and separation and supremacy, ask them about the beard. To those Muslims who don't want to believe that Islam is about tribalism and separatism, what do you say about the beard and all the sources regarding the beard? To religious Muslims and knowledgeable Muslims, well, I wouldn't ask them anything. No religious and knowledgeable Muslim actually believes that Islam was about peace, love, acceptance, friendship, and cakes. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share. Most of my videos are not monetized, so you can watch everything without ads. If you want to support me and my cause, you can support me on Patreon or on apostateprophet.com. I appreciate all your support very much. I'll be back soon. Have a great day and stay away from Islam.